you progress. At level 2, we build on the skills and the knowledge you've had at level 1. The science and the maths is a little bit higher on the level 2, and actually some students will find that challenging, but because we're building it up gradually, you'll find that you will be able to cope with that. And you progress through that level 2, and at the end of that, you could go and work in the industry, but more than likely our students will progress on to the level 3. If you do go out into the industry, then you wouldn't be able to work on your own, but you would be able to work with somebody as an electrician's mate, shall we say, in the industry. Next slide, please. At level 3, this is the actual qualification that enables you, if you like, to have a license to practice as an electrician. So it's very important that you get to a level 3 if this is what you want to do as your career. Again, the focus is on practical and theory, and this time there's a lot more about inspection and testing and making sure your circuitry is safe, because you've learned all the basic skills at the level 1 and the level 2. Next slide, please. Now, these are our full-time courses, as I said, and they are all made up of what we call a study program. So you actually study a package of different qualifications, not just the electrical qualification. Next slide, please. The assessment on the programs, there's a range of assessment there. Some of it is exams, and we have exams both written and online. Some of it is assignment work, so you take the work away and you work on it and bring it back. Some of it is practical workshops. And at the end of the level 2 and level 3 course, you have practical exams as well. As you work through the year, you have what we call formative tasks, so that's developing your skills as you go along. And the programs at level 2 and level 3 also will include a work placement. Next slide, please. This one's so those. So when we say a study program, it means you'll study either the level 1 electrical, if you're just joining us, level 2 electrical, or level 3 electrical. Plus, all students will have a tutorial. They will include maths and English study, and they will include work experience. Next again, please. Now, English and maths is worth mentioning because it's a very important part of these courses. As I've already said, the course has got a high content of maths, and it's also a requirement for you to have a good understanding of English. As well as the written work you've got to do, you've got to understand and correctly answer online exams as well. So it's very important that English and maths skills are developed to the highest level. Now, we would expect if you come in, if you don't have English and maths at GCSE grade 4 or above, then you will be studying English and maths until you reach that level. So you could be doing functional skills, or you could be retaking your GCSE, depending on where you are. If you've passed your GCSE, then we'll have further development skills going on as well. So you don't leave your English and maths behind, I'm afraid. It is an absolutely essential part of all of the courses in the electrical installation area. Next slide, please. All of our full-time courses have what we call a personal tutor, and their role is to look after you as a student at college. So they'll be looking on the achievement for you. They'll be making sure you've got all the support you need. They'll also be following up on any attendance issues you might have, or if you're not progressing as you should be and you need any more sessions or any support to get through the exams or the assessments that you've got. So that personal tutor will oversee your program and make sure that you're actually progressing as you should be. And that includes one-to-one support, so there's opportunities to discuss how you're progressing on a one-to-one basis. And then across the college, we also have other support available to you, such as additional learning support, and also other support and study skills and in IT. So the whole package comes together to give you the support you need to be successful on the course. Next slide, please. Now, we have our own expectations, obviously, of you if you're coming into college. And we know from experience that if you can attend 100% of the time, then you will almost certainly be able to pass this course. The issues that we have with students who maybe don't quite get there is because their attendance is not up to that level. If you miss work, you fall behind, you miss an important section, it's very difficult to go over and repeat again. So you must remember that attendance is going to be really important. Now, you will have a timetable that will expect you to come into college for 3 days a week. So you will have 2 days a week of time that you can use for work experience or for your own private study. But for the 3 days of your timetable, you're expected to be in college for every class. We ask that you always come and bring your equipment, boots, folders, pens, pencils, everything with you so that you're always prepared for work. We're trying to give you the idea of what you're going to need when you go out into the workplace. And you can't attend at the workplace without having all the equipment and everything ready to go. And the same applies for college. We also would say that work boots need to be bought every day, because we may change things. We may say, right, today we're going to do a little bit more practical because we need to do an extra assessment. So you always bring your boots every time so that we know that you're ready for whatever we decide we need to do that day. We do have submission deadlines and assessments, and you do need to stick to those if you're going to pass the course. Particularly at level 3, there's very firm deadlines with exams and assessments that if you do miss, you mean that you won't pass in that year. So it's very important that you do keep to those. We do insist that phones are switched off, particularly in the practical classes. Sometimes phones can be used in theory, but usually it's only at the direction of the tutor. And we don't allow food and drink into the classrooms or workshops because of health and safety reasons. So that's something that will always be emphasised. Next slide, please, Chris. As I said at the beginning, the progression from level 1, the level 1 is designed to give you the practical skills and that basic knowledge. And again, just to emphasise, if you're coming from school, you always will join at level 1. This makes sure that you've built up that basic skills and knowledge that you need to be successful at level 2. And so over the first 2 years, you'll do level 1 and level 2 and complete those. Next slide, please, Chris. Now, we've obviously been quite challenged in the last year or so because of the issues with the COVID pandemic. We've been in lockdown quite a bit of the time, but we do have excellent online support. So we continue to teach all of our full timetable during the lockdown, and all of our students obviously will always still have access to learning materials on iLearn, which is one of our systems or bases that we use. We also use Microsoft Teams and deliver virtual lessons there. And we also do have access to laptops and support for Wi-Fi if needed. So as well as coming in for class and working in the college, you will be able to access all the learning materials that you would need externally as well. And these two together obviously will help to support you to achieve your course. Next slide, please. Level 2, as I said earlier, you're not a fully qualified electrician at the end of level 2, but you can progress to employment and work alongside an electrician. You could also, after completing level 2, go on to an apprenticeship. So you could find employment, join a company, and then sign up for an apprenticeship and come in and study 1 day a week at the college. That's once you've completed your level 2 and you're looking to see what you want to do next. Or after level 2, you can progress to level 3, advanced technical diploma, and that's available full-time at the college for 16 to 18-year-old students, and is also available part-time at the college for adults. Next slide, please. And again, after level 3, you're now going to be recognised by the industry, and you can move on to employment opportunities where you actually be able to work more independently. Next slide again, please. Now, as well as the full-time courses, we also run a lot of part-time and short courses at the college in the electrical area. First of all, I mentioned both the 18th edition and the inspection and testing. Now, these courses are professional courses for electricians, and if you're going to work in the industry, these are add-ons that you will need to get at some stage. So you'll be able to take those at college. At the end of your level 2 and at the end of the level 3 course, you'll be able to take these qualifications, the 18th edition and the inspection and testing. And they're also available full cost for any other students that want to come in part-time and study those. With all of these short courses and part-time courses, they're all on the website, and the usual procedure is for you to apply for them online, and then you'll be contacted and we'll go through the process of what we need to do to get you enrolled. The college runs these part-time courses, long courses rather than short courses, during the daytime and the evening. So the level 2 electrical, exactly the same one as we've just been talking about for full-time students, is also run in the evening for part-time students. And we run that as a whole year course and as a fast track short course, or half year course, shall I say. So they're available for you, and again, they're on the website. And then we also run the level 3, again, the same qualification that we run on the full-time courses. We also run that as a part-time course, and we actually have a part-time evening running for that and a part-time day running for that. Next, please. So that's just to go through what I've just gone through and just confirm what I just said. Oh, we've moved too fast. If we can just go back a couple of slides. Thank you. That's it. So the level 2 qualification for evenings, it's available as a fast track and it's available as an all year evening. Now, in some circumstances, these are available free if the student meets the funding conditions. And these are the funding conditions obviously set down by our government departments that look after and fund all of these. So when you apply, you'll be able to speak to somebody at customer services about whether you'd qualify to study the level 2 free or not. And it's worth doing that because obviously you will want to make sure that you get it free if you possibly can. And the next slide again, please, Chris. So the level 3 technical diploma, now that's available as a part-time course, either evenings, studying 2 evenings a week, or daytime, studying 2 days a week. Now these level 3 qualifications are now available under the Lifetime Skills Guarantee. So this is a new initiative from the government to support our recovery from the pandemic. So most students, if you haven't achieved a level 3 before, so if you've done, say, GCSEs or a level 2, but you've never progressed to A levels or a level 3 course, then you should qualify to be able to study that level 3 part-time free. But it is only for adults. It's not for the 16 to 18-year-olds because they're funded through the daytime courses that I mentioned earlier. Again, all of these courses, once you've applied through our website, then you can talk to customer services. They'll send out the information, and then they'll be able to advise you about the funding and how that works. So that's something that first step is always to put in that application, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so just to emphasize that we apply online, and final slide, please, Chris. So my name again, as I said, is Nick Sansom, and I'm the curriculum manager for the electrical area. What we're going to do now in a moment is go on to a YouTube video that we took earlier this year so that you could get a feel for the workshops and the students could talk a little bit about the courses because obviously at the moment you're not able to come into the college. So Chris is just going to set that up, and that's going to run for about 4 or 5 minutes. Then I'll come back on again to talk about the courses again.
So it's a lot better than school, and it's not as much pressure as school, I think.
Well, the main difference is obviously you're not doing a normal subject, you're doing something completely different. But obviously you pick something you are interested in, and you know, then you'll be able to do all sorts of things like this.
I felt like not very confident because the people were different. I didn't get to know the teachers, but once I got to know them, I got kind of comfortable and started enjoying it.
And you'll get along with like your peers, and a lot of people would help you. Because when I came, there was also like a few other students that have been on site, so they'd help like all the people that haven't been on site really.
Everybody's fine. Everybody's in the same situation as you, so yeah, don't worry about it. Teachers are nice. Everybody else is nice. Just be yourself.
Pretty easy to just come in and start just doing the year. I already knew a few people who were here, so I just got on with them already. So
the teachers are nice. They kind of helped me settle in, and the people here.
The first week I joined, we was already on tools, really learning how to wire, all of that. There's all the equipment you need really for level 1, but for level 1 you don't deal with, you deal with more like wiring, so you don't really deal with a lot of like pipe. You deal with that like towards the end, so you'll deal with like clips and like running cable, and normally we work on the walls.
Level 2, I'd say it's more about learning how to construct like trunking, conduit, bending things. Level 3 is definitely more about testing, learning that the installation's safe and just knowing everything you need to know.
So, sort of the basic stuff like wiring up circuits, testing installations to see if the installation of the cable is up to the standards, and connecting sockets, lighting, and all of that, and bending steel conduit and PVC.
More practical than theory, but there's a lot of theory, but I think it's a good course if you want to get into it and this is what you want to do in the older.
Depends, like some topics in theory can be challenging, some are easy. The practical for me is really easy.
But you balance it out. If you keep up with everything, it's easy, it's fine.
yeah, I'm doing work experience Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So yeah, with a friend of mine who's an electrician, so yeah.
I work on the side as well. So I've been working with electric for almost 2 years. So before I came to college, I was already kind of knew a bit. So if you wanna so you should ask about with your family to get on the job. So when you come college, you'll be a bit ahead and you'll already know how to kind of deal with it.
If you're looking to work in an industry, I'd say this course is the best. I'd really recommend this course, especially if you're looking to get in the technical side of the industry.
If you want to pass, you've got to do it yourself. You can't just wait for the teachers to come and help you. You have to do your own thing. So you can't just always be waiting around for teachers like you would in secondary school, kind of. When you have to go on site, the teacher's not going to be there. You're going to have to do it all yourself.
So the next step after that is level 3, where I go more in depth with the course, and then again higher qualification. After I've finished the college course, I could decide to specialise in something different, such as security or fire alarms, stuff like that. But straight out of college, I could go and just become an electrician, and I could go into call-outs or whatever. So yeah, that's probably where I see myself, either with a company or on my own.
After you see your work done, you could be quite impressed with it and happy if that's the word. Yeah.
Theory's good, but practical's more fun since it's something different. It's not like at school where you just sit down and learn, and the teacher gives lectures. So yeah, it's been fun.
Hi, so welcome back after the video there. We've now got a opportunity for a question and answer session, and I'm joined as well by Godwin, who's senior lecturer in electrical and our course lead on the level 2. So what we'll do is obviously the questions will often be in written form, and we'll respond to them as best we can, but everything will be kept, and we'll go back over and come back if there's any questions that we've missed. So some Godwin will pick up and answer, and some that I will do. So we'll have a look and see what the questions are that are coming up, and see where we are. And I'll respond on live, so you can say what we've got. So we've got a question from a student to say that he's already got a grade 4 GCSE maths and he's level 2 in English, and can he take this course? Yes, he can take the course. It doesn't say his age, but if you're 16 and you've got a GCSE pass at 4 or above, you can still join the course. We will take you on at level 1 and you'll progress through level 1, level 2 in the same way. You'll still be developing English and maths skills, but you won't need to take the GCSE because you've already passed it. And I've got a second question from somebody who's done GCSE, hasn't done GCSEs because he hasn't attended college, in the UK. And again, we're supporting anybody who's done these courses. So if when you come in, we do an assessment for English and maths and make sure that you're able to understand enough to do the course. That can be done by our ESOL department. And this particular student says that he has already done level 2 in another college. So if he's passed the level 2 in another college and he's got the skills he needs, then he can go on to the level 3. I'll wait and see if there's any other questions coming up. At the moment, obviously, we're restricted in terms of being able to open up the college, but we are planning to do live face-to-face open evening in July, as long as obviously we're allowed to with the current restrictions. So we're planning to do that the very last week that we're all in college, so that's Tuesday the 6th, and we're hoping to do some tours of workshops and some opportunities to talk to the staff and maybe do some hands-on electrical stuff as well. But obviously that will depend, as I say, on how the change to the freedoms affects that. So we're going to look at that and speak to our health and safety people here, and then any information will be up on the website if anybody needs to just double check and see if that's still done. And you register on the website if you're interested in that day. Just going through some further questions. Again, more questions about GCSEs. Yeah, so we will take students who haven't passed GCSEs because it's a very different course to what you've done at school. Then we'll be looking at how we can develop that maths and English skills. You'll have to retake the GCSEs when you come to us, but you will be able to study on the level 1. And obviously we will try and make sure that you pass all the GCSEs over the period you're with us. And students come back again. Yeah, same again, just to say that, yes, whether you've passed the GCSEs or whether you're still working towards, you can still do the course. Question from Rezart, can they do the level 2 without doing the level 3? No, that's not normally possible. So the amount of information and the qualification, the practical skills that you develop at level 2 are not touched again at level 3, a lot of that. So you're purely building on what you've already done. So you'd have to do the level 2 first before you do the level 3 course. And there's a couple of us saying that you must have done level 2 to do level 3. Yes, that's correct, you do. Someone else has said they've applied for it but haven't got the offer yet. Yeah, just stick with us. We're phoning around everybody who's applied, and we're sending out the letters for the to confirm start dates and when everything's going to happen. Again, a little bit restricted because of the COVID lockdowns, but we're still taking all the students. There's no close down or anything like that. There's no we're not stopping any courses. So you'll be able to get a place on the course, and we'll be contacting you as soon as we can. The deadline for applying for the course, really, there's the deadline's out right up until the course starts in September. So you can apply any time, and likewise, if you apply now, you come in, you have a chat, you find out about the course. You're not committed to it. You would get a conditional offer depending upon how you get on at school, but you're not stuck, stuck with us, if you like. If you change your mind and decide I don't want to do electrical, I want to do something else, there's no problem at all. You can do that. Question from an older student who's 31, who's got functional skills. Godwin's going to answer that one online. And there's another student who's 18 awaiting A-level results. What course would I start on? So if you've done A-levels, we would look very carefully at what experience you've had. This is Elijah. So we'd look very carefully at what experience you've had to see whether it's possible for you to start on level 2. So that would be the highest level you could start at. And we'd be looking to see if amongst your A levels you had some knowledge of maths and science that will support you, and possibly if you've got some other practical skills development that you might have got in the time you've been there. So that would be something we discuss with you on an individual basis. They're coming in thick and fast, so excuse me if I don't get to all of them, but I'll do my best to answer them all. And say my colleague Godwin is going through and typing answers as well. Okay. So there's a whole range of answers there that we've covered. I was just saying before we started answering the questions that we're advertising, if you like, on our site that we've got an open evening, a real open evening planned for the very last week of the academic year. So that's Tuesday the 6th of July. You register for that on the website, so it's worth registering. We may have to adapt it again because of the changes in the freedoms that were announced on Monday, but we're hoping that we may be able to do some limited tours and perhaps a little bit of practical work. So that's something that we're looking for. So please do register, and then we can always just alter it a little bit. Okay. And I've got a student who's asked the other question the other way around. If I do a level 2, can I do level 2 without doing level 3? So yeah, so you take the level 2 with us, and then you can progress from the level 2. You could go out straight into work, and to start with, you'd have to work alongside somebody because you wouldn't be licensed to practice on your own. So you can do the level 2, go out to work. You might want to sign up for an apprenticeship. You may want to come back later, do the level 3 part-time at a later date. So there's lots of options around that. But if you want to work on your own as a practicing electrician who's licensed to do all the work themselves, at some point you would want to take the level 3 qualifications. So if you don't have to do it straight away, but you might come back to it later. Funding for level 3 course. So who do I need to contact to see if I apply for this funding? So it's advertised on our webpage. It's called the Lifetime Skills Guarantee. So this is a new government initiative. It's on our website. You click on there and you apply through that. And then once you've applied, then they will discuss with you whether you meet the funding requirements or not. So it's open to anyone over 19 who has not studied a level 3 course before. So if you contact them, or apply first of all, and then you can speak to our customer services and they can double check the funding for you. And that's available for part-time for adults. So it's available as an evening course, and it's available as a part-time day course as well, if you're interested. Students asked if the same thing applies to plumbing. Yeah, generally it does. Yes, generally the same applies to plumbing. That has a separate area and will have a separate open evening. So look out for that, Richard, if you're looking for plumbing. But generally it's very similar in the way it's set out and funded and the courses it'll offer. Roman, will I be able to enroll and qualify for adult funding if I don't have level 2? That's, again, as I think I answered earlier, that's unlikely, but we would double check to see what qualifications you've got already, what experience you've got, to see whether it's possible or not. But usually you've got to have a level 2 to progress to level 3, because there's very key elements on the level 2 course that we do not study at all at level 3. So all the basic wiring, all the basic conduit work, The science, we don't revisit that at level 3, you build on it. So you've got to have the level 2 first to be able to have those skills and knowledge. So that's why. And I'll keep answering. We're typing answers as well. So if you've put in an answer, we will respond as a typed answer as well, just to make sure that you've got the information. So do I need GCSEs to take level 2? Yeah. So no, you don't need to have GCSEs, but you start at level 1. You'd only go straight onto level 2 if you're an adult, and you don't need GCSEs to do that. So it depends on whether you're 19 plus or not. So if you are 19 plus coming onto evening courses, then you can come onto the level 2 without GCSEs, and we'll just have a look at what experience you've got and what you need to do. If you're coming from school and you're 16, then you'd start at level 1. Still going. When does the course start? Godwin's typing an answer, but just for everybody's benefit, the courses will start in September. I think the first Monday would be September the 6th, and that's when all the full-time day courses start, and we'd have an induction period first. So the first couple of weeks would be an induction, get you familiarised with the college and also familiarised with the course, and then off you go with all the study, etc. The part-time courses usually start a week later, so you probably start the week of the 13th for those this year. 13th of September, in case that wasn't clear. Someone else said, I want to do electrician course, but I don't. I want to do practical. Any chance to do that rather than doing paperwork? No, I'm afraid not, Miraj. You can't do the course without doing the paperwork, because there's written exams you've got to pass, and you have to do design of circuits before you can actually practically build them. So I'm afraid you've got to do paperwork as well. And then we've got, as a day, can I enroll for level 2 with GCSE in maths and level 2 in English? Yes, you can, if you're an adult. If you're a youngster, 16, coming from school, you'd always go into level 1 first. Malik Yusuf, do we get paid or do we pay you? Right, so Malik, so again, a lot of this depends on age. So if you're 16 to 18 coming on these full-time programs, they're all completely free. If you're an adult coming on to level 2, then you may be able to get them funded, and you have to apply and speak to customer services. So generally, if you've not done a level 2 course before, there's a good chance you'll get it funded if you're under 25. If you're coming on to a level 3, then there's more chance that you'll get it funded because of the government new initiative, but you've got to have level 2 first. So that's the situation. It's worth putting an application, talking to customer services, because a lot of our courses are funded and you don't have to pay for them. So it's worth investigating that and finding out. As a day is confirmed, he's an adult. So yes, you can enroll on the level 2 with GCSE maths and level 2 in English, yes. If I finish level 3, what's the next step? Can I proceed for electrical engineer? So there are level 4 courses that follow on from level 3. So I think I said earlier, a lot of our students, once they finish level 3, will go out into the workplace. But equally, if you want to continue study, you can do a level 4, which we call an HND course. and that will be a mix of electrical and engineering, suitable for electrical engineers, as you said about. So that's something that you could follow on to after you finish the level 3 course, yes. When can I contact customer services? What's the contact details? Godwin will type the answer for that, but once you've applied online for the course you want, then obviously you'll be contacted by them. If you want to phone customer services, it's on the web page. All of the details are there. So you go in on the web page, find the contact details for customer service, and you can give them a ring. But if you apply to get everything started, that would be very sensible. So you can ask if you can apply for that. That would be good. I had another question. Okay, Godwin's typing an answer of some of the level 3 questions that have been asked about the electrical engineering. Okay. And if anyone's just joining, I'll just mention again that we are hoping to do a live open evening on the 6th of July. You can register for that on the website. That's available, so do register. We may have to adapt it slightly because of the restrictions, but we're going to try to do a limited open evening, a chance to look around, a chance to do a little bit of practice, and a chance to chat to us a bit more directly. Okay, I'm just going to go back and double check that I've answered all the questions. I believe so. So if there's anything else, then please do ask now, because we'll be just coming up to our finish time. So do please ask anything before we have to depart, because there's other sessions running. Okay, I think we're coming up to the final part of this now. So we'll wind up now. We'll make sure that we answer any of the questions that are on the web page at this moment. Oh, something new come on. Which campus will the level 2 be? Yeah, the campus is at Southgate. So if you please go to it will all be at the Southgate campus. Okay. I've got a message from Gentrit, who's asked us to give them a call afterwards. Yeah, probably pass that on to my colleague, who's Godwin at this stage, Gentrit, but yes, definitely somebody will phone and just answer any queries that you've got. And I've checked my emails and it's there, so that's not a problem. Okay, well, I hope you found this to be a useful session, and obviously, as I say, where we have got opportunities for further sessions, please register and be pleased to see you and have more discussions. If you've already applied and you're waiting for us to call you, then please bear with us. We are working through the phone calls to give everybody a call and double check where they are, and to let them know what the process is, so that you're ready for September. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your time, everybody, and appreciate it, and hopefully see you all soon. Thank you.